Good evening and welcome to Cycling Weekly's Facebook Live, and we're here this evening with two of the Wiggle High5 Pro Cycling team riders at the OVO Energy Women's Tour of Britain. I am Owen Rogers from Cycling Weekly, and on my right here I have Giorgia Bronzini over there.
Hello everyone.
And Elisa Longo-Borghini.
Good evening everyone.
Firstly, we're going to take about 10 minutes to have a chat with the ladies here, and then in the second half of the broadcast we're going to ask you for some questions. So get your questions in the comments box below the screen, and the person who asks the best question will get a £50 voucher from wiggle.co.uk, and it's not me that's going to be choosing which question was the best. It's in fact the two ladies off to my right here. So firstly, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the race so far. We've just finished stage 2, which looked particularly horrible from where I was sat. It was hilly and very rainy. How did it go for you, Elisa?
For me, it was a quite fun race. It's been pretty wet at the beginning, and then it got a bit dry. There were a few climbs and a lot of action in the race, so it's been fun.
How do you find the climbs here? Because the climbs, I don't think we understand hills in this part of the UK, and we just go straight up them. We don't have roads going across them. So how do you? They were quite steep today, I thought.
Yeah, here in Great Britain, the climbs are particularly steep and short. Sometimes you can get some more kilometers, but they are no more than 4 rolling hills, 4-kilometer climb. But normally they are sharp, very sharp and short.
They're not. You weren't in the big ring today, going up that second climb, no?
Oh well, not really. That was very hard, and it was tough.
Yeah. And Giorgia, how's the women's tour been for you so far?
Oh, well, I'm in the 4th of all years I did, so we're going to see also how we're going to finish this year. Obviously, if I see in the back, the first edition was the best for me as a result. But yeah, we never know. We see how we're going to do with this one.
Yeah. And yesterday was a bit of an odd stage, I thought, in that not a lot happened early on. I don't know how it was in the peloton, where it was particularly high pace, but not a lot happened. And then Cassia Niewiadoma escaped, and no one could get her back. How did it pan out from where you were?
I think was a bit it was a bit strange. She had really a good legs for sure. She had a try, and the peloton maybe leave too much space for her, and no one won't take as a first day the really responsibility on the shoulder. So no one really worked hard to try to chase him back. There was so much waiting, and this is how she gained the time. But obviously there was a piece of crosswind that we tried to pull, and we gained some second, but still means that she had a really good leg. So I think she deserved the win and the jersey until now. So we see what's going on in the next days, but she had a really good win.
She said after the race today, Elise, after the stage today, that you were attacking her, and she was really struggling to stay on your wheel. Was that your plan, to attack her and isolate her from her teammates?
Well, our sport director said us that we had to attack and to put some pressure on, because there was a breakaway, and we didn't want another one going. So I just tried to do my job as much as I could. And if Cassia say that she was struggling, I must say I can be pretty happy with my shape, because she's very strong, and I feel kind of honored if she says this.
She's finished today's stage. It was quite a tough stage, and she has 1 minute and 46 seconds. Do you think she's going to win the general classification here?
Everything is possible, but in my opinion, she has a lot of time right now, and she's one of the strongest riders in the peloton. So it will be very, very hard to take away the victory from her.
Yeah, yeah. So just remember, folks, if you can send in your questions to Elisa and Georgia, you'll get the opportunity to win a £50 voucher from wiggle.co.uk. So make sure you put the questions in the box below the screen that you're watching, and I can see them as they come up. And I shall be asking some of them later. One in particular I think will be fun. So this is the 4th edition of the Women's Tour, the Aviva Women's Tour as was, now the OVO Energy Women's Tour. And the two of you have competed in both of them. And you've been getting better and better each year. Elisa, you were on the podium last year, I seem to recall. How do you think the race has changed in the 4 years that you've been competing here?
Well, I must say that from the very beginning of this race, the organization has been super good, but every year they managed to be better and better. I really see the development in this race in terms of crowds, because it was already crowded at the first edition, but every year is getting more media coverage and people on the road, and also in terms of stages, they are longer, they are tougher, and it's been one day more, if I'm wrong.
No, it's been 5 days every year.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, maybe more kilometers feels like an extra day, but it grew up very, very well, and this year with the finish in London will be the cherry on the cake.
Yeah. How does an Italian know the phrase "cherry on the cake"? Very well done. What about you, Georgie? I think you were third in the first edition, weren't you? When it was much flatter.
So I think I'm going the different way of Elisa. I go in the backwards now. It's the ages for sure. I really feel the age now on my shoulder. But I also think that in the years I had different work, a different position on the team, so that means maybe have more responsibility in one side and less opportunities for me, because there are new riders that are stronger. So for the team, the best goal is achieve the best that we could. So I was agree. They don't make me on the side. Like, I'm still important for them, and I work for this. And by the race, but personally I would like be more flat, but it's what it is. And about the kilometers, I am not super happy, because I think that 130, 140 max would be enough for us. And yeah, maybe I have one more day, but the stage a little bit shorter. If
you
it's
enjoy
the case,
the time with us.
yeah, with the peloton. But it's just my idea.
Do you think then that those longer stages that we've got? I mean, tomorrow's the longest. I think Drenthe was 155k earlier in the season, wasn't it? But I think tomorrow is 151, I think, and that's a long stage for. Yeah, that's a long stage for a stage race. Do you think that the longer stages encourage negative racing?
No, it's not about this. It's just, I think we are women, and if we compare that, we are some extreme. So in Bira they did some stage of 60k, and now here the same girl that was competing in Bira are here doing 100 more per stage. So I think we can find a middle way.
Yeah, I do. I'm led to believe that they did apply for 2 extra days for this, but they didn't get them for various reasons. I'll tell you about them later. I'll just remind the viewers that if they want to ask George or Elisa a question, they'll win. The best question will win a £50 wiggle.co.uk voucher, and so they should get on their computers or on their phones indeed, and get a question in, and we'll be asking those very, very shortly. How does this race compare to others that you do in the calendar through the year?
It's for sure one of the best races we do during the season. As I said before, the organization is super, and the roads are packed of people. And then there is an early start. That's what really make this race special. Because we are always starting at 10 or 11, and we are not really used to. So it's always early mornings. And I'm not an early person.
So what time will you be up tomorrow for breakfast? Because it's a 10 o'clock start and we have 45 minutes, 50 minutes to get to the start, I think, tomorrow. So yeah,
we will get up around 6:15, something like that. Yeah.
Oh dear. What about you, Georgia? You've been racing at the top level for a little bit longer than Elisa, and how have you seen the changes in the races that you're competing in? Could you have imagined when you started out racing an event like this?
Yeah, there is a lot of changing in a good way, for sure, for us, and that I'm proud to see this, of course, for us. And also I think that Great Britain put a lot of effort in organization for us, for try to give us the best and grow up in this. I was super happy also to be in Yorkshire this year. For me also was a good race, a good organization, good prize money, and that make also for us different, because they try with all them effort to value us, and that is really nice.
Yeah. This is your last call for questions, but we're going to go on to some of the questions that we have in front of us now. And the first of which is from Martin Raby, who says, is it upsetting that you don't get the TV coverage that you deserve?
In general, I mean, I think, I think because more we are on live, more the people can discover our world, and our world is for someone new, and if we can have a possibility to be online, the people maybe come closer to us and we be involved. Of course, if it's not, they need to go to the races, which is a lot of effort.
Yeah. And what about you, Lisa? I think we discussed before we started, didn't we, that if cycling fans can get to know the women's peloton, the individuals, then they'll become more involved. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do agree. And by having more media coverage, you get to know people, and you get closer to the riders. Of course, what makes the difference is also somebody who commentate the race, that knows about cycling and knows about the girls and who's riding where and what, because sometimes, of course, we get the media coverage, but then we get somebody who's speaking that doesn't know what to talk about. So it would be very good to have some more specific informations and people that are interested in women's cycling to commentate the races, to make them even more interesting.
But that obviously those people don't include Rochelle Gilmore, because she's very good.
No, she's like Wikipedia.
Yeah. From Clive Luty, I think that says Luty. What is the first thing the UCI should do to improve women's racing? Georgia.
I think to try to set up a bit better the calendar for us, because sometimes we have some month is really full of races, World Tour races, and after maybe 1 month with any. So maybe to try to take more according with the organization and try to split up a bit, and so we can cover all the calendar without make the team crazy or choose between the races.
Yeah. Elisa?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, and I just can agree with Gio. I think the UCI should also organize better the World Tour events next to the point 2 races, because we can't create a closed circle of an elite riders without having the basis. So we need the young girls and maybe the second level riders to have those races for getting better and better, and then to go into the World Tour, because otherwise we just close the races to a circle of girls but then we don't have any future.
There's a question here from someone called Ian Rees-Manley, and asking specifically about the race this week. How do the windy conditions compare with that you get in that we've had this week, compare with Belgium in the spring?
You are the best one.
Well, we must say that Belgium and Holland, when it's windy, are very, very horrible. You get to hate those countries with all your soul because of this. And it's been very windy the past day and today also a bit, but it's not the same as Belgium or Holland, because here you get more shelters from trees, and sometimes the road are a bit covered. It's like they are a bit more down in the ground, and you can't really feel the wind. Well, there are parts where you feel it, but it's not as open as those two countries that Georgia loves.
I'm like a flag.
And we did have some more questions, but I can't quite see them here anymore because I'm a bit of a tech idiot, really. But someone was asking what the best wheels were.
Wheels?
Wheels on your bike. Surely they're Campagnolo, yeah?
We have we ride Campagnolo. And we have two different eye profile.
Mm-hmm.
Or three profile, and depending the rider, they choose what they are more comfortable on. And personally, I take the lower because the wind in this race, and I'm fine with. You lose a bit if there is a sprint, if you have a low profile, but I feel more comfy, so I go for this. Yeah.
And what about you? Do you ever get onto the really light climbing wheels, or are you just so good at going uphill that you're always on deep rims?
Well, personally, I really like the 35 because they are a kind of midway between a high wheel and a very low profile wheel, and I feel very comfortable and very sure about the lines that I'm taking, and just the way that I can ride those wheels. I really like them. So,
which do you think was the best of those questions? Chat amongst yourselves for a minute. You can look at each other and decide which was the best of those questions. Obviously mine were pretty rubbish, but what about the ones that the viewers have sent in?
I think the UCI ones.
I'm agree with it.
Yeah. Okay. We'll have a look on the page, and whoever sent that question in will be getting a £50 voucher from wiggle.co.uk. Our time's up, I believe. So I'd like to thank you all for joining us here in Leicester, and wish the riders the best for the rest of the week, and wish you a good night.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Bye.
you.